Welcome back. A charity which supports homeless and vulnerable people in Glasgow is celebrating its 40th birthday. Blue Triangle Housing Association has helped thousands of people since it was launched in 1975. Now it's teaming up with Glasgow Kelvin College to get people back into employment too. Amy Irons has been speaking to one woman who's using her sewing skills to improve her confidence and take part in a one-of-a-kind fashion show.
Diane Murphy would have never imagined being made homeless at 50 years old. The grandmother has worked her whole life, but after developing sarcoidosis, a chronic immune condition, going to work became impossible.
I lost my house a year and a half ago, and I was obviously going to be homeless. Went to the South Lanarkshire Council and they housed me in Blue Triangle in East Kilbride. So I've been there for 18 months.
It was through the Blue Triangle Housing Association that Diane managed to find some kind of home again, although the transition wasn't easy.
Initially I didn't move from my house for the first 6 months I was here. I wouldn't go out, I found it really hard to speak to people without bursting into tears, and it took a while, but eventually they got me going out. I was involved with some other network in East Kilbride just to try and get me to go out the house.
It was quite difficult at the start to see someone so fragile and so afraid to go out the door, especially a woman that's been so successful and had such a good life. And it was my job really, along with the other staff, to try and get her out of her shell and bring her back to where she was and build her confidence. So I would say over the last maybe 6 or 8 months, it's been night and day. Since getting involved with all the other things that Blue Triangle have to offer, she's just came from strength to strength. She's like a different woman now.
Diane's confidence began to grow as she became involved in activities through the Housing Association. She's designed and made 2 outfits for their 40th anniversary fashion show, which will also see her receive a Community Achievement Award from Glasgow Kelvin College.
I think I feel quite proud I've actually achieved it. I've actually done something, because I didn't think I would be doing this a year and a half ago. I didn't think I'd be doing anything. So to have done this, the fashion show, and get the recognition for it, I'm absolutely chuffed to bits.
She went to all the meetings and she thoroughly enjoyed getting involved and trying to facilitate some of the meetings, and just the idea of getting a qualification out the end of it was just an added bonus really.
I've been through a lot, but I've came out the other end, and as I say, if it wasn't for the staff there, I don't know where I'd be.
Well, let's find out more about the work going on at the charity, and joining me now is Fiona Stringfellow, who's the Chief Executive of Blue Triangle, and Alan Sherry, who's the Principal at Glasgow Kelvin College. Thank you both very much for coming in to see us here in STV Glasgow. Fiona, starting with you, tell us a bit about Blue Triangle and what it is that you guys do.
Blue Triangle is a charity, and we're also a social landlord, and we have accommodation across Scotland, but short-term accommodation, which is what we term supported accommodation. So that means people are in our accommodation for quite a short period of time, but as soon as they come into the accommodation, they're allocated a support worker who looks at the issues that have made them homeless, and we work with them so that they're moved towards their own independent tenancy.
And we heard Diane's story there. Now, some people might not think that's very typical of someone who has become homeless. Is there a stereotype, or could it happen to anyone?
It could happen to anyone. I mean, Diane is not probably the image of a homeless person, but we deal with a range of homeless people who are literally just homeless, towards people who are homeless with complex needs, and that's things like mental health, alcohol, drugs, physical health, all of that kind of thing. So we deal with a complete range of people. In any given night, we deal with around about 297 people across our projects, and that's about over 600 people a year that we're dealing with.
And Alan, you've become involved, and the college has become involved. How are you guys working together now?
We've come together because we've got shared values about focusing on giving the clients that use Fiona's service the opportunity to develop the skills they need for employment, to contribute to the work of the Housing Association, and to have the capacity to reflect on how they can change their lives I think our shared value is around our work in ensuring that people have the best possible opportunity to move their circumstances on. And for us, that's been very important, and it's been a pleasure working with Blue Triangle, because we are rather Johnny-come-lately to their 40th celebration, about how we can work together. And Diane's a fine example of how collaboratively the services offered by both Blue Triangle and the college can help a person move on in their life and move to the next stage. And I think that's very important for us.
Because it was just happenstance that we actually formed a partnership, because when we were talking about our 40th anniversary event, we tossed a lot of ideas around, and we thought, what can we do that's different that would help our service users? And we asked the service users what they wanted, and they ended up saying things like they wanted to be involved in creative arts, and that's, you know, fashion, design, all of that stuff. And the things we've got skills in-house are nothing like, we wouldn't have a clue how to organise a fashion event. So we had a brainwave and thought, well, search around and see if we can, you know, get some skills or get some facilities or students from one of the colleges. So literally, Glasgow Kelvin College was the first college that came up when we searched. And we looked at all the fantastic facilities, so we just kind of blagged it, sent off a big email to them and said, would they welcome working with us to help service users? And they came back right away and said, yeah, we'd love to.
So tell us a bit about the fashion show itself then, because this is celebrating the 40th anniversary, but it is also giving service users a chance to participate and be involved.
Yeah. Well, as I said, when we came up with the format for the day, the service users wanted a fashion show. So the theme of the event is past, present and future. So we've got a segment where the service users have designed their own outfits from the past. So that's looking back the last 40 years. And then we've got another segment where they've designed all their outfits for the future. And I haven't actually even seen any of the events, the outfits or anything, so I'm quite excited about it myself. But we've had great support from the college, because along with the initiative we're launching around the Community Initiative Awards,
which Diane, I believe, is getting tomorrow. What will that mean for her and for other people who are getting these awards?
For us, the Community Achievement Awards give people an opportunity to get recognition for the skills they've demonstrated in a variety of projects. In Diane's case, it will be around the technical skills she's demonstrated in the fashion design, but also the planning skills and the communication skills she's demonstrated in contributing to the fashion show. So those are the real tangible efforts. So when Diane moves on to the next stage, or other service users move on to the next stage of their careers, they have something to talk to prospective employers about, or other colleges, other training providers, to demonstrate this is the skill set I have. And we think that's really important, because it's relatively easy for some people to say, well, qualifications aren't important, learning's important, but they are if you want to move on to the next stage. People look for something that you can demonstrate the value of what you've learned and what you can do. I think the other part of that is that you see from Diane, the confidence it gives learners that their achievements have been recognised formally.
And on that note, we're going to have to leave it there. Apologies. Thanks very much for joining us, guys. Thank you.